What's up everyone? Today we have Bug Type. Bug Type was one of the original 15 types introduced in Generation 1, and to date is the 6th most common type in the series. Upon first impression, Bug Type might seem like a weak type to specialize in due to its characteristically underpowered Pokemon and availability from very low levels in the game. However, don't let that fool you. Bug is a type of two extremes, having probably the biggest power gap between weak and strong Pokemon of its type. While Bug types naturally have their fair share of weaknesses, they have a massive variety of bugs to choose from, and what they can't achieve alone they can typically achieve as a team. They also have fantastic access to almost every entry hazard, making it dangerous for your opponent to swap around. Bug types are typically available as early as Route 1 and are often the first Pokemon you'll see in your adventure, meaning if you're planning on playing a mono bug playthrough and not trading over teams, you can start your party very early on. On top of this, these bugs tend to have very low levels of evolution and can be fully evolved as early as level 10, which allows your party to be quite strong in the early game. Unfortunately, this does have a drawback. These Pokemon tend to peak pretty early, meaning they're less effective in the late game, or in competitive. It's not all bad for bug types however, as there is the late game or rarer bugs to choose from, who tend to have higher BST and good access to abilities and moves. The majority of competitive bug teams will primarily be using these kinds of bugs. They're not as easily accessible in early game, meaning mono bug playthroughs can often change teams quite a lot. In the game, we also see bug trainers as early as Route 1, in the Bug Trainer class, who is typically seen early on as early as Route 1, as far back as Generation 1. This dynamic of bug types having two different sets of Pokemon is reflected in the notable trainers as well. As for gym leaders, bug leaders are always seen in the early game, with Bugsy, Berg and Viola all being within the first three gyms you face in their respective games, typically favouring the early route bugs and their evolved forms. That said, there are also notable bug type trainers who appear late in the game, such as Aaron of the Sinnoh Elite Four or Guzma, leader of Team Skull. Bug's base stats are notably low. When fully evolved, they do get a significant boost, but still somewhat lacking compared to other types. This is partially due to low-level fully evolved Pokemon skewing the results. And there are a lot of strong bug types we'll be discussing later on in the video. Prior to the physical special split in Generation 4, all bug type moves were physical. This is nicely reflected with Bug's notably higher and quite impressive average attack stat. Their defenses are also quite good, being over 80 in both. However, where Bug really falls down is its abysmal HP stat, contributing to overall poor bulk. Bug's type matchup chart has changed significantly over the generations and has either been not very effective or super effective on all the new types introduced, being super effective on dark types and not very effective on steel and fairy types. However, defensively it was neutral to all these types. In Generation 1, Bug and Poison had the curious interaction of being super effective on each other. This is the only interaction like that in the series to date. Bug and Fighting have a similar interaction where they are not very effective on each other. This is also the only time an interaction like that occurs between two types. However, this one remains to date. In Generation 1, Psychic types ran rampant in the meta and were almost uncontested, so you would think bugs were there to stop these Psychic types due to its super effective damage. However, in Generation 1, the strongest bug move was an unforgivable 20 base power, making any offensive presence Bug would have basically null and void. Offensively, bug types are notably quite poor. While having some key super effectives such as Dark and Psychic, it's not very effective went from bad to worse as the generations went on. Being not very effective on 4 types in Generation 1 went on to become not very effective on 7 types in Generation 6. However, Bug does have access to some nice offensive tools such as U-Turn, allowing it to keep momentum while doing decent damage due to its same type attack boost. Sticky Web, allowing you to slow your opponents down, giving even middling speed bugs speed advantage. And finally, arguably the best boosting move in the game, Quiver Dance, allowing you to boost your special attack, special defense and speed with the click of a button, turning any user into an immediate offensive threat. Offensively, bug types pair nicely with water types as it allows them to hit all their not very effectives at least neutrally. Defensively, Bug is quite average, resisting and being only weak to 3 types each. While the flying weakness is fairly manageable as flying is not terribly sought after as a coverage move, being weak to fire is not good as fire is very common as a coverage. Also, its weakness to rock is a certain death sentence in any competitive meta as Stealth Rock is one of the most frequently used tools. The introduction of heavy duty boots, while both help and hinder the bug type, as they like to set up hazards, was overall definitely a help, allowing them to come in on Stealth Rocks with no worries. Their resistance to fighting and ground is quite notable as these two are very common offensive coverage moves. Defensively, Bug pairs nicely with Steel types as it covers each other's weaknesses. This type combination only has one weakness, however it is a double weakness to fire. Butterfree evolving at a low level has somewhat lacking stats, but despite that there is certainly use for Butterfree in a bug team. Its access to Quiver Dance, one of the best boosting moves, nicely patches up its mediocre stats, and its ability Compound Eyes boosts the accuracy of its otherwise inaccurate Stab Hurricane or Sleep Powder. On top of that, it also has access to decent coverage in Psychic, Giga Drain, and Draining Kiss, the latter two giving it longevity and recovery as well. Mega Pinsir's terrifying exterior matches terrifyingly high attack stat of 155. On top of that, it has a decent 120 defense and nice 105 speed. Regular Pinsir can score a KO with Moxie to get the attack boost before Mega Evolving, and while its notable moves might seem shallow, let me explain why. Its Aeolate ability turned all its normal moves into a flying type attack, and give it a boost to its base power. This is taken into account before its same type attack boost given to it due to its new flying typing, thus making Quick Attack a nice stab priority, and Frustration an extremely powerful move. You might be wondering why Frustration over Return, and it's a legitimate question to ask. If a Ditto copies your Pinsir, we don't want powerful returns sweeping your entire team, and typically Dittos will have max happiness, making their return more powerful. So running minimum happiness and Frustration will actually protect you from most Ditto sweeps. Forretress will be Bug's premier hazard setter, as it has access to almost all hazards, excluding Sticky Web, which a lot of other bugs thankfully do have. It also has access to Rapid Spin, allowing it to clear away hazards on your side of the field to protect your allies. On top of that, its massive defense and good typing make it quite a hard wall to break through. But it doesn't end there. It can also use quite powerful Gyro Balls, as its steel typing gives it same type attack boost, and its lackluster speed can make it quite a high base power. Finally, Volt Switch can be used to deal chip damage to your opponent, also gain momentum if they swap out. Scizor is one of the icons of competitive Pokemon, and it's no question why. It has amazing stats, including a towering 130 attack and a good 100 defense and 80 special defense, making it difficult to take down. Scizor might seem like a one trick, but that one trick is amazing. Technician Bullet Punch. The Bullet Punch is boosted up to 60 base power before same type attack boost and as priority. This can be used to absolutely tear through weakened teams coming off Scizor's amazing 130 attack. As a Generation 8, it also has access to Dual Wing Beat, another move that can be abused by Technician to becoming a 60 base power fly move that hits twice. But it's not just about Technician. Scizor can use moves such as Superpower to break through walls or U-turn to gain momentum. On top of that, it can be used as a team support with Defog or Roost for bulk. While its Mega is certainly usable, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, as base Scizor does an amazing job as is, and often not worth wasting your Mega slot on, while it could go to something such as Mega Pinsir or Mega Heracross. Shuckle is one of the strangest Pokemon in the series, being either a complete gimmick or an absolute titan, and be near impossible to take down. For those who aren't familiar with Shuckle, these stats are not a mistake, nor are they a joke, they are legitimately its stats. An entire video could probably be done on Shuckle alone and what it can achieve, so I'll try and make its role in the bug team brief. It can be fantastic team support with great access to entry hazards such as Sticky Web and Stealth Rock. It can also throw Toxic or an Encore into Pokemon who want to set up in its face. Alternatively, if you want a near unbreakable tank, you can use Contrary Shell Smash to boost its already ridiculous defense stats even higher. Rest can be used for recovery, while Infestation can be used as a semi-trapping move, ensuring your opponent can't escape and you can wear them down with Toxic. Be very wary when using Shuckle, as its usefulness changes massively between match to match. Heracross is one of the bugs you can nab pretty early in the game using Headbutt on trees, but it is quite rare. Its stats are pretty decent, especially its monstrously high attack stat coming in at a 125. Its fighting type doesn't bring much to the team defensively, but does bring in a stab close combat, allowing it to break through a lot of walls that Bug can struggle with. Its ability Moxie can pair well with Choice Scarf, allowing it to score KOs and gain an attack boost for every KO it scores. Alternatively, a Flame Orb can be used to boost your already impressive attack stat to downright terrifying levels. This can also be nice defensively, as Heracross will now be immune to other status effects such as Poison or Sleep. Upon Mega Evolution, Heracross's already impressive attack stat becomes downright monstrous at 185 base, becoming the second highest attack stat in the series to date. This, paired with its ability Skill Link, allows you to utilize moves such as Pin Missile, Arm Thrust and Bullet Seed to guarantee hit 5 times, allowing you to effortlessly break through walls, substitutes, Focus Ashes or Sturdies. Heracross can also utilize Swords Dance and Stab Close Combat to become one of the best wall breakers a type could possibly ask for. On top of this, prior to Mega Evolution, Heracross can score KOs with Moxie to increase its attack before Mega Evolving. Shedinja is a gimmick through and through, and I would not recommend it for competitive use. However, it does have access to the best ability in the game, bar none, Wonder Guard. This can be a fantastic tool for in-game playthroughs, as it can make you completely immune to a lot of what the main game has. Its HP stat may seem like a joke or a mistake, but it's not. Its HP is hard-coded to have exactly 1 HP, no matter how much you boost it, thus making any single super effective hit be a guaranteed KO if you're not wearing a Focus Sash. To top it off, when Shedinja is evolved from Nincada, it actually produces 2 evolutions, meaning you can get 2 new evolutions on your bug team for the price of 1 in the main game playthrough. While Emeraldo is quite bulky in nature with unimpressive speed, its attack is quite noteworthy, making it also a decent offensive presence. Though where it shines on a bug team is having access to both Rapid Spin and Stealth Rock, being able to set hazards as well as remove them from your side of the field. It also has access to decent coverage, such as Knockoff, Stone Edge, Earthquake and Aqua Jet, or can simply be used for further utility thanks to its bulk and access to Toxic. It can be used to take most fire moves thanks to its neutrality, and deal super effective damage back with Stone Edge or Aqua Jet. Yanmega's impressive special attack and decent speed are compounded further thanks to its ability Speed Boost. This allows Yanmega to become an extremely fast and offensive threat if left unchecked. It has nice access to moves such as Air Slash, which is stab and can cause flinches, Giga Drain to take care of pesky rock types, or just a strong Bug Buzz, which can also go through substitutes. This paired with a Life Orb or Choice Specs to increase its already decent special attack can make Yanmega a late game monster. However, if you don't want to go for a speed boost variant, Tinted Lens is a fantastic backup ability, as it allows not very effective hits to hit for double damage, which is a lot in Bug's case. Scolipede's nice offensive presence is boosted up to crazy levels of power when we take into account speed boost. After a couple of boosts, Scolipede will be able to outspeed most unboosted opponents or even Choice Scarfed opponents. Paired with Swords Dance boosting its already decent attack and great coverage, Scolipede can be used as a fantastic sweeper in the late game. It also has access to nice coverage such as Earthquake, Rock Slide and Aqua Tail. Protect is a nice tool to help you get a speed boost and scout for your opponent's moves. It can be also used to create mind games in your opponent and potentially mix it up with a Swords Dance when they expect to protect. But be careful when doing this because one bad read will allow your opponent to get boosted up and potentially score KOs. Like the other Bug Steel types, Escavalier's typing really sets it apart, having only one weakness to fire and pretty impressive bulk to back it up, as well as monstrously high attack. Unfortunately, its speed is non-existent outside of a Trick Room team. However, due to its nice defenses, it can usually take a strong hit provided it's not a fire attack, and score a revenge kill with its massive 135 attack. It also has access to quite nice moves such as Knockoff, Ironhead, Close Combat and Mega Horn. Its Shell Armor ability allows it to take extra hits as critical hits won't affect it, and Overcoat can also be used if your team struggles with Spore or Weather. Galvantula's stats aren't that impressive upon first glance except its decent speed and special attack. However, its electric typing gives it neutrality to flying, which Bug can otherwise struggle with, and can easily revenge kill these flying types with a Stab Thunder. We also don't have to worry about Thunder's accuracy as Compound Eyes boosts it. It can also use Volt Switch to grab momentum and Sticky Web for team support, slowing your opponent's team down. Accelward's mighty speed makes it quite a good lead, as it can set up its own hazards with the use of spikes and toxic spikes, or deny opponents with the use of taunt or final gambit. But it's not just a lead Pokemon, it can be also used as a late game cleaner. With its already fantastic speed and decent special attack, it can use an unburdened Throat Spray combination to become a fearsome sweeper. The Throat Spray will increase its special attack after using Bug Buzz, while Unburden will double its already fantastic speed, making it hit quite hard and very fast. Duran's Steel typing is a fantastic addition to a Bug team, as its weaknesses are limited to only fire. On top of this, its stats are quite nice, boasting a 109 in attack and speed, and an impressive 112 defense. Unfortunately, its HP and special defense are absolutely abysmal, and therefore any special attack will send this thing flying. But its already impressive attack stat can be boosted up by its ability Hustle. While this does cost your accuracy, with a one single Hone Claws you get the best of both worlds, boosting your power up to massive levels of height and not really worrying about the accuracy. It also has nice coverage such as Rock Slide, Superpower, Stomping Tantrum and Crunch. As well as that, it has access to First Impression as a Generation 8, which is a fantastic tool in the late game for taking care of weakened opponents. Volcarona is an absolute monster on any Bug team, providing fantastic utility as well as amazing offenses. Its already impressive special attack, special defense and speed are boosted even further thanks to its Quiver Dance. And with its signature attack, Fiery Dance, you can score KO while becoming even stronger due to the special attack boost. The introduction of heavy duty boots were a blessing for Volcarona, as it can now swap it on Stealth Rocks without caring about the 50% damage it would take otherwise. Ignoring its stabs, it has good coverage in Psychic, Hurricane and Giga Drain. But it's not just an offensive monster. Volcarona has got a nickname in the fanbase of Bolcarona, and it got that for a reason. While its defense isn't anything impressive on paper of 65, its HP is quite nice, and its ability Flame Body can threaten any physical attackers with a burn. On top of that, it has fantastic access to recovery in Roost. Vikavolt disappointingly low speed is made up for by its amazing special attack. If your team is looking for a special wall breaker, you do not look any further than Vikavolt. While its Stab Bug Buzz is walled out by a lot of common threats, we have Stab Electric moves such as Thunderbolt or Volt Switch to fall back on. If you're worried about ground types walling you out, we do have Energy Ball. Flash Cannon can also be used as a nice fourth move on a Specs build, or you can use a defensive Vikavolt with its decent defense stat to use Roost and Sticky Web for team support. Despite Rabombi's unthreatening appearance, this thing can be quite a big asset for a Bug team thanks to its Fairy typing. With Stab Moonblast, it can easily tear through Fighting and Dragon teams, two types that Bug could otherwise struggle with. On top of that, it has access to the much desired Quiver Dance, allowing it to boost its already impressive special attack and monstrously high speed, making it almost impossible for unboosted Pokemon to outspeed it. It also has nice coverage in Psychic, for poison types who could otherwise wall its Fairy and Bug Stab. Araquanid is one of the rare Pokemon that has an effective resistance against a type its entire team is weak to, thanks to its ability Water Bubble. This ability will power up your water moves, make you immune to burn, and take half damage from fire attacks. This pairs fantastically with its water typing, being able to hit a lot of things that resist bug, as well as taking half damage from fire attacks. On top of that, Araquanid provides great team support with the use of Sticky Web, Lunge to lower your opponent's attack, Meteor Coat to deny entry hazards, or even Rain Dance to spread rain to weaken fire moves across your team. Finally, while its HP is not very notable, it has an amazing 132 special defense, making this thing surprisingly hard to take down. Golisopod's amazing bulk and impressive attack might make it seem like a fantastic brawler, and you'd be partially right in thinking that. While it has one of the weirdest abilities in the game, Emergency Exit, forcing you to swap out when you fall below half HP, it makes its viability questionable. However, I can assure you, if used correctly, Golisopod is a terrifying titan of any bug team. It has extremely strong priority in First Impression, which can be used multiple times during the match due to it being swapped in and out. It also has access to other priorities such as Aqua Jet and Sucker Punch, as well as utility and knockoff or spikes. There's few Pokemon who like the heavy duty boots more than Golisopod, as it allows it to swap in much more without falling below half HP due to entry hazards. If you don't want to use this Pokemon for its current utility, you can just use an out and out powerhouse with moves such as Liquidation in close combat. Buzzwole's massive attack and defense stat reflect that of his massive stature, as well as having seriously impressive HP for a bug Pokemon. Its speed isn't half bad either, and thus can be used alongside a Choice Scarf and Beast Boost to make a sweeper. Thanks to Beast Boost, it can increase its already incredible attack after every kill and eventually snowball into a real problem hard to take down. Alternatively, you can use a bulky set with Bulk Up, and this Pokemon has no shortage of recovery moves, with access to Roost, Drain Punch and Leech Life, with the latter two being boosted by Stain type attack boost. It also has nice access to coverage such as Earthquake, Rock Slide and Ice Punch. Finally, it's worth noting if you score a kill with Fell Stinger, you get 4 stages of attack, which is just ridiculous. However, it's not terribly reliable due to Fell Stinger's low base power. Centiskorch is a fantastic addition to bug teams, with its decent bulk in 100 HP and 90 special defense, and pretty impressive attack in 115. It also has access to Coil, boosting its attack and defense even further, while not worrying about inaccurate moves such as Power Whip. It has access to Great Stab and Fire Lash, which also decreases your opponent's defense, and nice utility such as Knockoff and Leech Life. And finally, the real reason Centiskorch shines in a bug team is its ability Flash Fire, making it completely immune to fire moves, which is something Bug really values. Frostmoth's part Ice typing might make you immediately think this Pokemon is not good defensively, and while its physical bulk leaves a lot to be desired, its special bulk is a lot better than it seems on paper. While only having 90 base special defense, its ability Ice scales actually halves damage from all special moves, making it much better than it appears. Its access to Quiver Dance increases its already impressive special bulk, while making it more of an offensive threat. Paired with its access to Stab Ice moves, this moth can become quite an offensive presence. If you liked my content, feel free to like and subscribe, as it helps my channel grow, and the Discord for my channel is linked down below. Hope you have a good day.